Here we go again, Grandmama.
Good morning, I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and I told y'all on my earlier video that I was going to be making several things to leave for Roy and Mike in the refrigerator. And so I'm doing a squash casserole, and this is going to be gluten-free. I've got my saucepan on back here, and I've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it heating up. And I'm going to saute, y'all saw me put raw onions in a meatloaf, but I'm going to saute my onions for my squash casserole. I just found out that we like them better that way. So I've already cut half. This was a medium onion. I've already cut half of it, but I just take, and I've shown y'all how to do this before. I just slice it, start down here, slice it in little slices all the way around the onion. Then I go in, and this is the way I get it in really small dices. Then I go in and I cut it halfway through. Then curl your fingers, you don't want to get cut. And I just cut it like that. And when I get to this little end piece down here, there's a little root on it. So I'll just kind of cut around that root. Throw that root in the trash. You got a few little big pieces right there. Just chop them up. And then if you want it smaller than that, just take your knife and go through it like this. And get them really, really diced up real fine. I'm just showing you this. We don't particularly like them, have to have them this fine in our squash casserole, but I was just showing you how you can do it. Take your knife, put it down, hold your hand on it with your fingers out, and just go around your onion or anything that you're chopping, peppers, whatever. So this is 1 medium onion I'm going to put in my pan. And I'm going to let it be sauteing while I put my squash casserole together. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I got it on medium high. Okay, I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to measure my squash for you. This is some squash that I put in the freezer this summer. And I took it out this morning and I cooked it on top of the stove. You can steam it if you want to, but I just did mine on top of the stove. That's 2 cups of cooked squash. Now, if you're doing raw squash, it would be about 4 or 5 cups of raw squash. But you're going to have to cook them anyway, so go ahead and measure them after you cook them. So that's 2 cups of really packed cooked squash.
That looks like a 2-cup measuring cup, but it's not, is it?
No, it's just one.
Okay, just bigger at the top. Okay.
Yeah. Well, really, I guess it would be about 2.5 cups because I filled it up. That was a good point, honey. My 1 cup is right here, right there, and I filled it all the way to the top. So that would be about 2.5 cups. I have another one here, and it's not that tall. The 1 cup is up higher. So, just scoring what kind of measuring cup you have. All right. To this, I did not salt this before I, let me stir my onions. I'm going to turn it down a little bit because they were getting a little brown, which made them really good in this casserole. I did not salt my squash when I was cooking it. So I'm going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. It does not take much pepper for squash. I do not know why, whether you're steaming them, whether you're sauteing them, whether you're pan frying them, whether you're boiling them, ever how you cook them, it does not take much pepper for squash.
And if you over salt squash, you ruin them.
You ruin them. That's the reason I started with a half a teaspoon. All right, that was a half a teaspoon of onion powder and a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, I'm going to stir this up together. Now, I am not putting any binder. I don't use binder in mine because I try to make it gluten-free. I don't put any crackers. A lot of people will crumble up saltines, Ritz crackers, breadcrumbs, whatever in theirs. I do not. I use eggs as my binder, and I will put 2 eggs in here. I'll crack them in this bowl. Okay? An egg is a wonderful, it is a great binder. Okay? It's kind of a tough shell. Alright. Now stir this up really well. You can beat your eggs before if you want to, but I'm going to stir it all up anyway, so it really doesn't matter. All right, my eggs and my cheese is going to be my binder in this. Now, I have got, let me get a spatula. Well, let's get this little one. I'm going to put about, this is a 1/3 measuring cup. I'm going to start out with 1/3 of a cup of mayo. And I'm going to see what that looks like. And I think my onions are ready. I can smell them back here. Okay, let me get them. Perfect. See that little brown on them? That's what you want. Because,
looks good.
All right, I'm going to put them right there. Get my egg beat up a little bit better. Put my mayo in. That's a 1/3 cup of mayo. You help me remember these measurements, honey, because I got to write them down. So I can give them the recipe in the description box.
What's the measurement, honey?
All right. And I did not get a casserole dish out for this, but I will. Okay. Perfect on the mayo. I can look at it and tell. And the mayonnaise was cold. The eggs were cold. So, I'm going to go ahead and put my onions in. And turn it around like this. Now, if you've never sauteed your onions, oh my.
You're beginning to put some flavor in there now, baby.
It makes a whole world of difference in your casseroles. I saute my onions for my broccoli casserole. If I'm doing hash brown casserole, I don't. But basically, any other kind of casserole, I'm going to saute my onions. It just gives it a richer, deeper flavor.
It does.
Okay, now, let me put this over there. This is, I'm going to measure this. This is a 1/2 cup of measure. I'm going to measure this. This is, and I know I cracked my eggs in here, but that's okay because it's,
Your eggs went in too.
It's all going
Also,
to the same place. Yeah. All right. This is white cheddar. That's 1 cup of white cheddar. I mean, a 1/2 cup. Well, no, 2 1/2 cups. So that's 1 cup of white cheddar. That's 1/2 cup of yellow sharp. Both of these are sharp. Okay. Now, if you're not gluten-free, put saltines in if you want to. But
No.
we just love it like this.
It takes the flavor away from those onions.
It does. We just love it. All right. That smells good.
Now her nose is in the Hall of Fame. If If you don't smell like she does, you don't know what she's doing. She can smell salt in water to see if it's already been salted or not.
I can.
That's the truth.
If I'm cooking vegetables, I can tell if there's salt in the water just by smelling. I'm going to take a little taste of this because I want to make sure my salt is right. Don't over salt. If you over salt, it takes the sweetness away from the squash and the sweetness away from the onions.
It just ruins it.
Do not over salt. And
It's better to add some more at the table if you have to.
Yes, you can always add to. You cannot take away. Now in soups and stuff, you can put a potato in it and kind of absorb that salt. But when most of your cooking, you can always add. You cannot take away. Always remember that. So it's just a rule of thumb I've always gone by. And so, all right, I've got to get a casserole dish out. Give me a second and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all.
You forgot to put butter in it,
I
didn't
forgot to put butter in it. So what I'm going to do, my oven is on because I've got meatloaf in my oven. I'm going to slide that. No, I'm just going to do it in the microwave. It'll be easier. I'm throwing some short ribs. I'm cooking short ribs too. So I got a lot going on this morning. All right. I'm going to melt this, and that way it will it'll grease my pan. And I've got this cheese right here that I'm going to put on top of it.
At the finish?
No, I'm going to put it on
okay.
there. Okay, that's melted enough. All right, I'm going to put my butter in here. And then I'm going to just take my hand.
And grease.
And grease my pan. Like that. I'll stir my butter up. That butter just gives it a really good flavor. Okay. Now this is what Roy and them are going to eat while I'm gone.
And I mean eat it all.
They're going to have some good food.
Oh, love squash casserole and
Remember,
broccoli
always,
casseroles.
Always take your spatula and go around and get all that out. Because that's food too. All right. My oven is already on 350 because I've got a meatloaf in it. And I'm just going to slide this in. I'm going to put my cheese, my extra cheese. So this is about 2 cups of cheese in all. Cut my half inside and cup.
You talk about putting delicious in food. Woo!
All right. Let me get all this. I had somebody ask me the other day where I got my mats that I use. This one is Pampered Chef. I ordered it. This one came from the Dollar Tree. You get 2 for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree.
So it's $1.25 tree now. Is that what it is?
It's $1.25 tree now.
Bidenomics? Is that what that is?
I guess. But you can see it's got little, I've used this a lot. This is all I used. Well, I've got a wooden one back here, but I really like using these because I stick them in the dishwasher and get them really, really clean, and I know they're clean. And I especially use them with meats because I don't like using wooden boards with meat. I mean, I know you clean them, but I like something that I can stick in the dishwasher. All right. I'm going to cook this about 30 minutes until it gets real, because everything in it is done. So until it gets real, like bubbly around the edges and my cheese is kind of brown. So we'll be back.
As I get older, she gets.
All right, y'all, our squash casserole cooked 40 minutes in a 350-degree oven, and it is steaming, 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 popping hot. But you know what? I'm gonna let Granddaddy taste of it.
She's going for the insurance. I know what she's doing. She's trying to kill me.
And I've told y'all I'm doing several videos today, so you're gonna see us in the same clothes. I'm just having to change apron so I'll know which goes with which clip goes with which video. So, all right, I'm going to. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. That is perfect consistency, perfect everything. All right, Granddaddy. I'm gonna let him get burned today because I got that little sore in the top of my mouth.
That's not an excuse.
I still want a taste of it though. I'm gonna duck under you.
Smells wonderful.
Blow it good, honey. Is it good? Real good.
Squash casserole can be one of the worst things you have ever tried to eat, or it can be one of the best things. And Rose, this one is great.
That's the best one I've made in a while. That is delicious. That is really, really good.
The difference is seasoning. You have to.
Boy, y'all sure are gonna have some good food while I'm gone.
We deserve it.
I'll let all this cool, wrap it up, put it in the fridge, and every day they just go in there, fix them a plate of whatever they want.
This will last us one day.
Yeah, it will. All right, thank y'all for joining me. Please share this video, subscribe to my channel, make the squash casserole gluten-free. It is so good.
Don't you marry a woman that can't cook.
Hit that notification bell, and food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Put deliciousness back in healthy food, and this is healthy. We'll see y'all next time.